So I want to share something today. Being knowledge is just about knowing your limitations. Like, knowledge is your foundation. So, you know, once you're standing on your square, rooted on a solid foundation, going further, the second knowledge is really knowing your limitation, knowing the ledge, knowing how far you can go without falling off that ledge. For me, you know, in 1992, 1993, something very significant happened to me. I was living in the city, small town, and extended family members who lived in the same vicinity moved away. So it really just left my immediate family, my mom and pops, single child for the majority of my childhood. Didn't have brothers and sisters. So, and it's significant because in the city, in the environment I grew up in, you know, who you became and who you were and how you were able to move highly depended upon your clan. Your clan meaning like what's your last name, what family members, your cousins, your brothers, your aunties. And in a small town where everybody knows everybody, that has a huge impact on your life and your lifestyle. So with me, growing up, the majority of my clan lived in a different state than I did, hours away. So I developed a certain loyalty to the ones who became members of my clan, who were not my blood relatives, that held me down and I held them down. You know what I'm saying? So whereas for me, a friendship meant way more to me maybe than the next person, because that extended family wasn't within arm's reach at all times, you know. So that's a plus and a minus, because as I got older, people who became a part of my clan, people who became close to me, noticed my loyalty and noticed, you know, started to point out to me that I could be loyal to a fault at times. Meaning that I overextended, I would become guilty of overextending my loyalty to individuals who I held dear to my heart. So family members, friends, people who might not have had my best interests in mind at all times, or people who exhibited certain characteristics towards other people, or had certain type of energy that they brought with them. I tended to ignore that because of my loyalty towards these people. So I said that to say this, is that, you know, always remember that, you know, everybody you hold down might not hold you down in the same manner if the tables had turned. And that hurt the worst whenever it's somebody that you loyal to, somebody that you love, somebody that you trust, and you see a situation where you're put in a bind and they don't have your back and they don't hold you down. You know, one of my favorite artists of all time, as far as hip hop goes, Tupac Amaru. So, and we saw with him the same situation. Dude grew up in an environment where they was always moving. They was always going from school to school, to city. So the people who he was around, he was super loyal to. The people who became a part of his clan, he was super duper loyal to. So what happened was, whenever he was put in the position to where he was hurt and to where he was damaged and had been double crossed, you know, it isn't that he felt like, you know, Biggie and Puffy were the ones who shot him. He just felt like, man, if you're a member of my clan, you should have held me down. So when my enemies came for me and you knew my enemies was coming for me, you should have held me down in the situation. And they didn't do anything. They sat back and they just let it ride. You know what I'm saying? They sat back and let it ride. So you'll notice, like, you know what I'm saying, even in his story, like, he went from thug life to the Outlaws and Death Row and the mob, simply because he felt like when he was in prison, the people wasn't holding him down who he felt like was a part of his clan. And so what you got to realize is, man, be careful who you're loyal to. Be loyal to yourself first. Be loyal to and be true to yourself before put your ability to be true to yourself over your loyalty to other people. because you could be setting yourself up for failure. You know what I'm saying? So don't become loyal to a fault. Not saying don't be loyal to your people. Always be loyal to your people. But at the same time, be able to peep game and be observant of your situation. Don't turn a blind eye. You know, I witnessed certain people and certain individuals do shiesty things and do shady things, and I saw other people who were supposed to love these people not really rocking with them. But you know, for me, I ignore that because I always put myself in a place where I'm like, look, I'm loyal to you. You rocking with me. You never, ever showed me any signs of disloyalty to me. So I stay loyal to you regardless. You know what I'm saying? Certain people might have come to me. If it's 100 people not rocking with you, 50 people might have come to me and was like, yo, don't rock with this person because I was rocking with them, him or her, and they did this, or they put me in this position, or they didn't hold up when it came to this, or whoop-de-woo, or this person is this type of individual. They not real, they not loyal, they're not authentic. You know, they put on this facade for certain reasons. I shrugged it off simply because of my undying loyalty that I felt like would keep me strong and hold me down. And so I end up being put into positions when that person exhibited these same characteristics, these same things that these 50 people had told me. This person exhibited these same type of behaviors towards me. And when I was put in a position to where I was hurt, and you know what I'm saying, and people had rolled on me, and people had put me into a bind and into a negative situation, they didn't hold me down. And so now I'm like, man, like looking back at myself, like I shouldn't be surprised because these other 50 people out of the 100 came and told me that they wouldn't hold me down, and they didn't hold them down, but I still turned a blind eye because of my undying loyalty. So that's what you call being loyal to a fault. And the thing about it now is mathematically, I can add it up and be able to say, you know what? Now, not only am I knowledgeable, not only am I on the solid foundation, but now I can know the ledge. Like I know how far I can go. I understand my limitations. So when you start to understand your own limitations and how far you can go, how far you don't need to go, then, you know, you really can build, and you can, you know, your limitations eventually will grow and stretch, and, you know, you can become closer to being limitless. But, you know, that's just a part of my take on today's mathematics, man, is, you know, knowledge, or, you know, December the 11th, you know what I'm saying? And if you really want to born it all the way out, all being born to wisdom. So 1-1, all being born to 2, you know what I'm saying? Once you can know the ledge, then you can start to exhibit the wise words, ways, and actions. And you know what I'm saying? You can put that knowledge into effect. You know what I'm saying? It's the knowledge being put into effect. You know what I'm saying? Standing on the foundation, knowing your limitations. Now you can exercise that knowledge and continue to stretch your limitations so you can become limitless. And you know, that's my take on today's mathematics. Peace. Warrior 7.